fortune in this situation. I think you want something aggressive. Mobile Zeri does fit the picture. It is very aggressive, though, to go towards the Zeri. I would imagine they'd want to play something a little bit less forward-thinking. Ooh, okay, the Civ actually going to be the lock-in right here. Now, that leaves you in a bit of an interesting situation where the top side of the map's gone flying into the back line, and you're not exactly going to be...
That is true. That's always the big relief. But...
Yeah. That's the thing, right? Not making it out of this group Nevada feels so much less bad when the other option was not getting to play for the entire rest of the year. And this is what we were worried about, Rao. That Xiaohao was going to be able to turn this around into a Drake as well. 3 grubs, the first Drake, most of your enemies' camps too. This really is a masterclass of counter jungling, and they're getting pushed around just a little bit. Still, no kills yet in this game. 2,000 gold lead available for EDG. Next set of grubs going to be spawning in 30 seconds time, but this is not your jungle. Your jungle's not your jungle at this point. And actually, Xiaohao goes in.
We ult all the way over the wall here. Nio going to be in a lot of trouble. He's going to have to Vault Breaker right back out. He'll be matched with a flash of Xiaohao, but Nio's now on the complete wrong side of the map. Xiaohao going to continue to try to chase him down.
Oh.
That Q2 connects. The burn's not enough. Will Nio be able to escape this one? It's going to try to buy as much time as possible. There comes one more Q. It's first blood in for EDG.
Nearly 12 minutes into the game for that first blood to be able to spawn, but this is exactly one of the worst times possible to go down. That second set of grubs are now going to be... It's been very impressive from EDG.
And it's not necessarily the early games that we've really praised EDG for. In their games, in their series that they've won, it's been a lot of team fighting, obviously, as we mentioned. But Xiao specifically is having himself a great series so far. Specifically in their wins the next 2 minutes or so. Unless you want to fully fight for this Baron, Nio dashing forward, forcing Wing to back away. And so LGD get themselves a little bit more time in this one.
On the one hand, I understand why EDG have been a bit passive. Yes, your Neferi got ahead, but you've got yourself a Victor and an Ezreal. These are champions who would like to scale at least to the 2-item mark before really wanting to get involved. I mean, Ezreal does have a very hard 1-item spike, but never really wants to play around that one. But you've also got yourself a Renekton in the top lane you could have potentially tried to bring to some of these skirmishes. EDG, they bullied Nio around during the laning phase. Yes, he's still down about 40 CS, but he's really not as far behind as he could have otherwise been. And EDG, it felt like they never were really comfortable to really push that advantage that they were able to get for themselves through that creative jungle pathing.
And it really, that's right now the entire gold lead. You take a look at what's on the bottom of your screen and what's on the top of your screen. It's about 1.3k in favor of EDG, and Xiao has about a 1.3k lead over Nio. They're going to try to change that here now in the mid lane. A beautifully executed public execution from Sauce will pick up the first kill onto Odd as LGD are finally on the board. They pick up the kill onto the enemy AD carry right as the Baron spawns, and they might be turning right towards it.
Yeah, why not head straight over onto this one? I mean, right here, without Arn being up and available, that's a ton of the damage for EDG just gone. They can still step up, though, and you do still have Xiaohao up and available. ICX actually going on the big flank. Here.
Now dashing forward, but remember, he doesn't have that ultimate, neither does Sasa right now, and that means the health bars could be bursted down. ZDZ forcing 2 resets already, flashes forward for a third, and XQW, the only one with a Voracious Autocon buff still alive. That's one real kill, combined with all the resets going down, as even though it doesn't look like it on the scoreboard, EDG get a big boon.
They really do. That's going to bring them out to about a 2k, nearly 3k gold lead. They can't turn it straight around into the Baron or anything, though, and because those are false lives for the most part, it's just going to be these quick resets coming on through. I have to see what the item advantage you can get from that gold is going to be. Right now, it's just 2 items completed on the majority of these champions. We've also now got the very important Drake up and available. But this one, it's just way over-aggressive right here. Nio really has no right to be jumping this far into the backline, and as we talked about, right, the Arcane Storm over the top of multiple members throughout that fight really just wrecks things here for LGD. They're lucky they've got the false lives, but they're still giving over a lot of gold to EDG.
Now, LGD had a chance to get into that pit a little bit earlier because all of EDG had to go for resets after making those plays for the taking of the false lives. But now, Xiao's back onto the Dragon Pit. It's going to be Soul unless Nio can get in there, so he's got to go in quick. At 4,000 HP, the Dragon is, but Nio's already so low. And now EDG just have full opportunity to try to pick up the Soul. True Jump Barrage comes out. Finally, Nio going to try to get in, but it's already taken away by Xiaohao. That's Ocean Soul for EDG. And they finally collect the Feats of Warfare with 2 more kills in their pocket.
There we go. We're going to watch EDG just finally explode onto this game after they had been so passive, creative pathing in the early game into a passive mid game. But team fighting is EDG's bread and butter. Maybe they don't play the laning phase so well, but yes, this team knows how to team fight. And now, Wink, Angel, they're going to play bodyguard and make sure there's no way that Nio can step up and potentially get involved in this Baron play. Baron going down relatively slowly with only 2 members attacking it. Still, there's no path forwards for the buy. You think? Hang on. No flash. Does he have another Vault Breaker?
XQW's looking
he's
here
gonna get
as
in the
well.
pit.
Nio gonna be a hero.
Oh!
No, 10 HP. The Baron was at, but it gets picked up by Edward Gaming. On takes down Nio. ZDZ pops a Dominus to stay alive. And XQW and Xiaoya now have to run on out of there as the Baron buffs in all 5 hands of EDG. And they're going to try to make you push down here onto this mid lane turret. Arcane shift forward on, throwing out some mixed shots. And they're not even going to go for the resets. They just want to continue to force down the base.
Yeah,
Xiao jumps over the wall. They can try to look a little bit further onto XQW. There's the call to pack. No, but Xiao goes a little bit too far forward. But the intargetable means he's able to escape. EDG potentially with highway robbery and XQW trying to make a play. Flash charm onto Angel, does not find a damn thing. And Edward Gaming will get out scot-free with Baron in their hands.
And they're going to be able to take these quick resets and then
coming out. He has been forcibly and systematically eliminated from this game's impact at all. Nio has been able to do almost nothing here in game number 3, which should be the decider, should be the clincher for LGD to confirm themselves a spot in the play-in. But it's EDG spoiling their opportunity here and continuing to push down mid.
They're going to push forwards further and further right here. Mid lane, bot lane, taking a lot of heat at the moment. And remember, the 6 Grubs went over to EDG earlier on, so they are going to melt through these towers. You can see it right here. This bot lane at tier 3 going to fall so very soon. 2 Baron empowered cannon minions firing onto it. Here goes LGD.
Assist on. Combined with the public execution on, going to be taken low, taken down by Sasa. It's 2 kills onto EDG. But what will the response be here for ZDZ? Xiaohao and ZDZ still so tanky here on this front line. XQW running the wrong way. The Baron empowered minions are going to take him down. It's a double kill for Angel, who gets the last hit on that one. Well, here, level 17 on the Victor. 3 full items in his own right. As the Elder Dragon has spawned and EDG are going to start it up.
Let's see, are any LGD members going to be able to find their way in? It's very much going to be on Nio and Sasa to find that engage, that moment. Where can you go?
He gets locked out. He pops the stopwatch, though, so he's going to stay alive for just a little bit. 3-man knockup, though, does connect here for LGD, but ZDZ's in the backline, but the Dominus already popped. Xiaoya finally has the spell shield. Taken away. Public execution doesn't find anything, but the health bars on EDG are low. YCX could be the first one to fall, though. XQW flashes forward, lands the charm on Angel. YCX the headbutt pulled, but will finally go down and be the first casualty. Sasa headed back to base. He's going to try to teleport back in with full HP to make it a bit of an even fight for LGD. They've already lost a member, but Xiaohao still at full health. The Elder Dragon at 4,000 HP. It's going to be a flip. Who's going to get it? It's secured by EDG. The Elder Dragon belongs to them. And then their members will drop like flies. 3 already down. XQW the last one surviving. And he won't be for any much longer in this game. Edward Gaming picked themselves up the ace. They're going to march down the mid lane and hand LGD their first loss in Group Nirvana.
EDG, they secure themselves at least split number 3. They will not be eliminated from the LPL for the rest of 2025. It was on a knife's edge right there. It could have been either jungler's Elder, but it's picked up by Xiaohao after a masterclass in the jungle early on. With a victory right here, LGD, they are no longer undefeated. EDG